Hey guys, it's Shadow, and today we are going to be playing Project Coaster, and more specifically we are going to be doing Port Noble. And if you don't know what it is, Port Noble is my little project park for YouTube in Project Coaster. And I really love how this park is starting to turn out. The main theme of it so far seems to be more piratey than anything else. But what you can see that I started out doing first was actually I finished off this little area that I left open in the last two episodes. I wanted to finish this off because it felt empty. And my original idea was to put kind of another building there just to have kind of an alleyway to walk down. But I guess I kind of forgot about that idea whenever I started building. And now I'm just kind of too far into it to go back and change it. And honestly, I kind of like how this little skull right here turned out anyway, so I just kind of want to leave it be. It looks pretty beautiful at night. So yeah, that's staying. My next idea to go on to do after this episode, well, actually after I finish the alleyway that I'm currently working on, so maybe 2 episodes from now, is to actually start doing a different theme area. And possibly put in our first, not our first ride, but our first roller coaster into the park, which I guess that classifies as our first ride, whatever. I don't know, I'm speaking out of my butt here. But what I really want to do is put a roller coaster that goes through the episode, or not through the episode, whatever, that basically goes through the building that I made in episode 2. Now, if you haven't seen episode 2 or episode 1 or part 1 or part 2, whatever you want to call them, go check them out on my channel. It's probably pretty entertaining, and I've got some pretty beautiful shots of these buildings I've already made. Now, one thing that you'll notice I'll do in a little while is I will actually be removing that one ride that I already made, the pendulum ship thingy-majigger. The only reason I did that is because whenever I first made it, like I said on the part 1 build, is I said it was kind of a placeholder. That way people can come into the park, and at the time I thought I would leave it there. But I started thinking about it, and the reason that parks make the parks the way they are is normally, say if you go into Six Flags, you go in the front and there's a lot of shops, and sometimes there's a stage for them to do music and dancing and stuff on. But at my Six Flags, at least, what they did is they made all the good rides at the very back of the park, so you have to walk all the way back there, and there's no other entrance, so you can only go in one way. And I like the idea of drawing a crowd in towards the back, so they get to see everything before they're done. Say if they just came literally just to ride one ride, if they have a season pass or something, they still have to go by and see all the shops and want to buy stuff before they get there. And it's a very good marketing scheme, honestly. As a person, I don't really like it, but it makes sense whenever you think about it from a marketing area. Now, I want to do kind of the same thing with my park, is have my attractions at the very back, so you have people walking everywhere, not just towards the front. So I'm going to move the ride that is right here. Maybe, I don't think I'll move it behind the mansion thing, but I will definitely move it somewhere else. Maybe behind the first building that I built, or maybe behind the alleyway that I'm working on currently. But yeah, I just don't really want it where it's currently at. So that will be a change in the next video. Or maybe the next 2 videos, whenever I do it, I don't know. But as you can see, I'm going back and actually removing all these lamps that I currently had placed down. Because after the second episode, actually, I started realizing, I was like, you know what? The lamps on the ground looking like flood lamps are very... It just looks so much more appealing than having them up on the railways or on the handles, guides, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. But yeah, I started messing around with some of the props here. I don't know why I was messing around with that tentacle one for so long. It just looks so strange. But I went through a couple different things, and I kind of settled just to kind of have some ammunitions right here and some rocks and some plants. Honestly, it doesn't look the best, but it's a very small area. There's not much you can fit there unless you do something super custom. And I'm not that great at doing the custom building things yet. Like, what I'm doing is pretty custom from what I'm used to, and here you actually see me removing that. But I'm not that great at it yet. I'm trying to learn some from Silverette. If you know who he is, he's actually a YouTuber. Go check him out if you haven't already. But he's really good at what he does. He does like a bunch of city skylines builds, and he does Project Coaster, obviously, and whatnot. But as you can see, this little alleyway right here, the bigger path right here, that's what I'm planning to use as this whole street, the entire street, literally just building after building. Like, they're just so close that they're just like practically kissing, that kind of close. And I'm definitely going to put a lot of more buildings here. I really like how it's turning out. And I know this is weird because this whole video is going to be me based around like building this one building right here. Even though it's not very big, I built it for a very long time. And the only reason is because I came home very late last night and I was very tired. But I knew I wanted to do some more of this because I wouldn't have much time today with my school starting up today and just everything going on. So the only thing I could do today was more kind of a voiceover. And I've messed around with a couple other games trying to record them, but there seems to be a problem with my mic currently. Or I don't know if it's my mic or if it's my recording software that I use. I'm currently using NVIDIA. Oh my gosh, what is it called? I'm using the GeForce Experience to record my videos because it allows me to record up to, I think, 150 or 160 bit recording, which makes sure that all my audio and video isn't like out of sync. It's always in sync, which is definitely what I need. But usually whenever I use anything else that isn't very high bit recording, it gets all unsynced and it's weird and whatnot. I don't know. It's just a trouble to work with. And honestly, whenever I use NVIDIA GeForce Experience like this, the file size for, like, if I record like 3 hours worth of content is normally around like 13 gigabytes. And honestly, for a video of that length, that is tiny. If you use something like Fraps and you record like 4 hours, then you are literally going to max out your freaking hard drive, because it's just the encoding on it is like 500 megabytes per second, and it's not necessary. I mean, it gives you the absolute best quality, but once YouTube has downsized it to fit onto their servers, it doesn't make a dang difference. You can't literally, your eyeball cannot see that. It's just, I don't know. So sorry, that's just a little bit of a rant for me, kind of a YouTuber rant. But anyways, getting back to the content, I'm actually making the upper balcony right here, kind of doing some decorations. But as you see, I spent a lot of time on this building, and then once I built it, there was a lot of things that I took back from it that I just didn't think looked that great. But yeah, I've got to start learning to pause the time in the game, honestly, because like every time I went to do lighting, it would turn daytime, and then I wouldn't realize. I was like, oh well, I could have just paused the game and finished it all right now, but then I never did. I don't know, it's just a little thing that I do. But yeah, I couldn't actually figure out a very good way to do the roofing on this building, so I ended up doing this and kind of making half of a third level on the back side and the front side because of that. But I think it turned out pretty good. I did that right there, and then I realized, I was like, once I started getting into it, I was like, oh well, I probably shouldn't have placed that other roof piece because it definitely wasn't necessary. See, I remove it right there. Dang, I get like a hangnail. But anyways, you don't need to know about my hangnail, am I right? So yeah, this is one thing that I say a lot, but I just, for the people who do watch this series, if you have any suggestions for me to put in the park, like honestly, just put them in the comment. Even if like you don't think that I'll do them, I will definitely do any suggestion that you say. I will put it in the park, unless you're like, oh hey, put a giant penis in the park, and I'm not gonna do that. I mean, who would do that? I mean, I guess there's probably YouTubers out there that would, but that's not me. But like seriously, like if you have any suggestions for buildings or rides that you want to see in the next episode, let me know. Honestly, I will do them genuinely the next episode that I do once I see that comment. And whenever I see comments is usually like whenever they happen, I have notifications that come up on my phone and I see it instantly. So literally just don't hesitate to ask. I will do it. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know if it's the fact that people just don't watch long enough to hear these kind of suggestions from me. But I don't know. It's a suggestion from the YouTuber to ask for suggestions, and it's just, I don't know. It's kind of a cool thing. You guys should totally do it. Suggestions are just, they're amazing, guys. But yeah, I threw on this little accent right here. It definitely wasn't necessary, but I like how it looks. It almost makes it look kind of churchy. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I guess it kind of depends on your religion. But anyway, we're not getting into religion here. That's kind of an odd topic. But yeah, I like using these little, the little, oh my gosh, what are they called? The, it's like the plaster or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. But I like using those, the little like marble tiles. I like using those like pillars as little accents. It looks pretty nice once you use it like that. And I was kind of messing around with the parts, and I thought I'd throw on this little like castle piece just to see how it looks. And I actually kind of like how it turned out. It adds like another little feature that you normally wouldn't see on a building. But yeah, I just kind of threw that in, and it turned out pretty nice. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about it. You should let me know in the comments what it looks like to you guys. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying anymore at this point. Mahalo. But anyways, I don't know. I'm having so much fun playing around with Project Coaster. It's an amazingly beautiful game, honestly. And it's just, I don't know, it's amazing to build with. I never thought I'd be really good at this. Once I started playing it, I was like, oh, I'm pretty decent at what I'm doing. And I should probably keep doing it. I actually like commented on Silverette's video probably about 6 months ago. Whenever this game came out, I was watching him play it whenever the alpha first came out. And I asked him, I was like, where do you get your inspiration to do this? And he said, honestly, he just gets on this game and just starts building. And usually he'll come up with an idea while he's building. Honestly, he's kind of right. Like, if you don't know where to start, just get on the game and start building. And eventually your own creativity will take over in your mind. And you'll just kind of figure out something that either looks good to you or you think someone else would look good. And like, honestly, that's like a big inspiration for like, just like if you're on YouTube and recording videos and you don't know what to do, just to start doing something, and eventually your mind will kind of take over as long as you have that little creativity nerve in your brain that tells you, yo, like I should try this, then you'll definitely get it. Like honestly, I used to be super shy, and to some extent I kind of am. Like on a personal level, I'm shy. But whenever it comes to YouTube and whatnot, I kind of lost that shyness nerve now, and my creativity is kind of taken over. So like, I don't know, it's just a little helper. Like if you don't know what to do, just do it, and maybe something will spark. I don't know. Other YouTubers might have different opinions on that, but it is totally up to you. You control your own life, and yeah. I don't know, this wasn't supposed to turn into like an inspirational speech, but it kind of has now. But anyways, I actually like using those little wood pillars as accents on that wall. It turned out pretty good. And I use these little like balconies. I don't know if they're balconies or what they are, but I'd never used them, so I threw them on, and they look pretty decently good. I'd have to say so myself. But yeah, I'm kind of planning... I'm almost planning to go back and put kind of a awning over this back area right here. I think it would just kind of add a little something something to make it kind of have a little more spark in the build. But honestly, currently it looks really good. I've put almost too much time into this building alone. I spent over an hour, literally an hour, like 15 minutes on this building alone last night. Why that happened, I really don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Another tip would probably be don't come home really tired and then try to do this, because like your brain's not working fast enough to do that. And this little light right here, I thought it was kind of a cool idea. I was watching Flabaliki do it. I don't remember his real name. I think it's like James Turner or something like that. He does Sim Supply and Flabaliki on his channels. But he was playing it, and he was kind of doing the same thing that I'm doing right now, is kind of like an alleyway with a bunch of buildings in it. And I saw him do that, and I was like, that's such a neat idea. So I kind of threw it in. If you're watching Flabaliki or James Turner, whatever your name is, I'm sorry that I stole that, but it was such a good idea that I couldn't pass it up. So I hope you enjoy the fact that other people are using it. So you're welcome / thank you. But anyways, it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of my inspirations that I take from other YouTubers, just because like I'd say I'm pretty decent at building what I build. Like I've built like one thing that other people haven't done already, which is my mansion. But yeah, my building takes a lot of inspiration from him and Silverette. So if you see anything that resembles it, I'm not really trying to copy them. My inspiration comes from them. But I actually put in this ride temporarily just to get people into the park to see what they would do inside the building. But I'm going to leave the video here so you guys can have some after shots. And I hope you enjoyed it. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.